attack, fast fatal heart impact, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and packs. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet out. Get ready for defeat now.
Okay, so yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep a straight face. I'm sitting here trying to keep a straight face doing this. I just tried recording this for the last 10 minutes and kept laughing. I actually stopped and had to take a breath. So hopefully it's passed. Because I have not laughed that much in a very long time. So hopefully this at least sounds good. Because I don't want to ruin the audio. Now, this is going to be a joke, what if, you could say. I've thought about doing what ifs on other My Hero Academia characters from their points of view. But I've kind of pushed that thought away because I don't think anyone would really like it. But earlier today in my Discord, I remembered... Crap, what was his name? Ah, crap, I hate this. Anyways, I remember he was talking about a Meihatsume what if. I won't say what it was, but he was talking about it. I don't know if he posted it or not, but you guys can probably search it up and find it. And I had the funny idea to make a what if Mineta. And he was actually up there with one of my what if Kirishimas or one of my what if someone else, really. But yeah, this will probably be one of the things I start doing on my channel. Other characters. Like Bakugo, probably. Wait, how long? Okay, that was a very long explanation. Anyways, let's try and begin with Mineta. Last time I said this sentence, I started laughing, so we will start with Mineta being born. Okay, there it is. Ah, okay. Alright. We will start with Mineta being born. Whenever he was born, they can clearly see that he had a mutation quirk. And very early on, it was apparent, since he did have somewhat of a weird look to his hair. It somewhat looked slimy, and was possibly a part of his mother or his father's quirk. Now, with that out of the way, they are able to immediately diagnose his quirk. He has a more advanced version of his family's ability, his family quirk. The sticky balls to the head. Now, instead of it just being balls, that's a weird sentence to come out of my mouth, it is more or less his entire body can somewhat turn into slime, if he wanted it to. At least that's what they initially believe, as a running theory. Since if his hair is just like that, then he's just going to have the slime hair. Now, whenever Mineta is at the age of 4, he does actually take an interest in heroes. Now, instead of him taking an interest in like Miruku, Midnight, Mount Lady, who has not emerged yet, I know. Basically, instead of him taking an interest in every single female hero with an ass and tights, that is another weird sentence I didn't think I would ever say. He starts to take an interest in some of the male heroes, especially ones that have weird quirks, someone like his. And he actually does discover a way to use his quirk. Whenever, let's say, an incident happened where he was playing at recess, and he went flying off the swings, he went flying through the air. And whenever he hit the ground, whenever he threw out his hands, his entire body somewhat turned into slime. Now, what I mean by that is, well, I guess you could say his arms turned into slime, really. But his arms turned into slime and tried to cushion his fall. As soon as he landed on his arms, he tried to get back up. And whenever he got back up, he could tell that he didn't feel very hurt. There were cuts and scrapes above where he landed on his arms. The parts that were liquid, I guess you could say, or slime, were not bruised, however. And they simply had a problem. Basically, all the other kids had to try and get a teacher. Try and help him with his quirk. It was very weird and odd, but eventually they were able to actually get him on his feet. And, surprise, surprise, Mineta was actually able to cover the wounds he had on his arms with slime by simply turning his hands and then turning them back, basically sealing the wounds, or basically grafting skin over the areas that were injured. Now, that was actually a really good idea, and something he didn't really ever think about, as he himself is going to be looking into this a bit more, and trying to study his quirk a little bit, trying to see if heroes have any similar abilities, and finding a hero who can turn the top of his body into sand. That does seem interesting and cool, especially with the way he has seen the man use it. And it's actually really interesting to him. He does want to be a hero. It's every kid's childhood dream. However, he's just wondering if it's actually going to be his. Or if he's probably going to fall flat, like both of his parents. His dad works an office job, and his mom really just stays home taking care of him. And really just looking after him. So, he does want to be a hero. Now, he does want to start training, but he really doesn't even really know where to begin, let alone where to start, as he himself looks online, and actually does think about it, looking up different heroes' workout regimens, and ways that they actually do use their quirk and train it. Mineta basically has a lot of knowledge on quirks at his disposal, since he is on the internet. And he does actually look into his own, talking about transformation quirks. And he does find a few. Some heroes do have odd abilities, and they do seem to be oddly activated. The sand guy, he has to focus on it, while some of the other heroes do have to actually try and force the mutation out of them. And Mineta, he forced his to awaken, or well, his abilities to manifest, the way his body turns. And he actually does try and work on this more, as he tries to do this up until he is at the age of 8, where he does actually know that he can start to use his quirk his own way. And from learning it and trying to master it, it actually is very useful. His mom once walked into his room while he was trying to work out, and guess what she found? She was confused as to where he was, until she looked up and saw that he was actually on the ceiling. And well, her scream made him fall, and was actually very, very odd. And she was trying to figure out exactly what her son was doing. Mineta trying to explain his quirk. He's heard of an American hero who has done something like this before. They can climb up walls, and, well, with our quirk we can stick to stuff, right? I can turn my hands, my body into that stuff, so I thought I could. Yeah, it worked. His mom, a bit confused. However, she does try to be supportive. Now, with that being said, she does actually walk into the other room and turn on the news, before gawking at some of the male heroes. Now, with that out of the way. Sorry, I had to stop myself from laughing again. With that out of the way, Mineta actually does begin to do more. And he does try and develop techniques, or at least things to do with his quirk. Now, everything is good so far, and he knows that he can throw his hair and stuff like that. He's seen his mom do that whenever she lost something. She simply, well, pulled out a chunk of her hair basically, and actually stuck it somewhere where she would remember it being. And she would do that until eventually she would find something. Then she'd have to basically wait for those things to disintegrate, or she could take them down and throw them away in the trash. It doesn't really matter. But Mineta, he does actually try out one thing. He wants to see if it would actually work. And he turned his body completely into slime. And was actually able to move around like this. However, things did get more difficult. And he does actually begin to actually try and work out. And try and get on a good diet. Junk food and all that other stuff he's been eating so far really hasn't been good. In fact, he notices that all the other kids are growing but him. And, well, from looking online, yeah, he should be avoiding most of the stuff he's been eating most of his life. And he does actually ask his mom about this. Her, too busy reading a magazine about heroes, simply just tells him that they should have some of the food that he's talking about in the kitchen. And he goes in there and looks, trying to at least follow a guide online about what he should be eating, and what he should do. As he starts to grow, and discovers that he really, really should have just tried this. He's been feeling better, he actually doesn't seem as, well, small anymore, and quite a lot of people do like him for his quirk. And the one thing is, not a lot of people really do consider him to be friendly. He is seen as simply just trying to improve himself, and people somewhat think he's cocky or arrogant, but he really isn't. He mainly just tries to keep it to himself because he's kinda just shy. It's kind of a real problem, and he can get scared sometimes, but he does try and overcome that. That's just a natural part of who he is, and he does have to overcome that if he is going to be a hero. Now, with that being said, I do believe, I do believe that I can leave this off here, and if you guys actually do like it, I will be completely shocked. Because, yeah, this, this. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm completely just breaking down. This. Fucking Mineta. This idea would not get out of my head all day. Jesus. Anyways, now. I am just gonna go, and I'm gonna probably go laugh for a solid 10 minutes again. So I do hope you guys enjoyed it. But, yeah. I'm gonna be really surprised if you guys want another part to this.